Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Travel and Tourism Podcast, my first season. My guest today worked for Club Med from October 2018 to March 2021 as a fitness instructor. Her first season was in Club Med Cancun, but she also was at the opening of Club Med Miches in the Dominican Republic, and she worked in Turks and Caicos as well. She is quite accomplished in the world of fitness. Here are just some of her certifications. She is a certified cycling, Zumba, Aqua Zumba, and Zumba Kids instructor. She is also a nutrition coach, yoga instructor, personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach, and a naturopath ND. And she also has an accountancy degree from the Université du Québec. Good Lord, my guess makes me wonder what the heck I have been doing with my life. So please help me welcome to my first season, the incredible Melissa Ferland. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Comment ça va?
Great, and you?
I'm doing good. Everything okay over there? I hear you're in Cancun.
Yes, I do. I'm in Cancun and everything is great.
Well, yeah, I lived there for a year, so I really do miss Cancun. It's a great place. Lots of things to do, lots of stuff to see, right?
Yes, exactly. I feel that it's the best of both worlds between the Caribbean and between the Canada or the US.
And you never have to see snow.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds like heaven to me. Well, thank you for joining us and agreeing to share your story with us here today. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so I know you traveled quite extensively. So why don't you take me back to at least when you were living and working in Portugal, correct? I think you started there in the summer of 2016.
My first backpack trip was in 2015, and I just fall in love with Portugal and Spain and some other country. So then in 2016, I was like, I will go back to Portugal and I will find a job. I want to work there during the summer, and I was still doing my study, but I was like, I need to have a different experience.
Now, is backpacking as good or as bad as I think it is? Is it fun?
It is fun. It's a really special experience. I don't think I could do it again. I mean, I could do the backpack, but the part that staying in an hostel that sometimes you have 30% in the same room as you, I'm not sure I could do that again, but it's really a great experience. You travel alone, but you are never lonely. You meet different people from different nationality, and I really think that it was a great experience for me, and I learned so much from doing that.
Yeah, it looks like because I think you were working in a restaurant, right? And at one point, the manager asked you to lead some crazy signs, but you didn't know what crazy signs were, right? Like you were just doing dances, and the customers were following you. Is that right?
It was not the crazy sign because at that point I did not know what was Club Med. For me, I had no idea what was Club Med. So I wanted to have a job in Portugal, and it's very difficult because I was not speaking Portuguese. My English at that time was not super good. So I just been really lucky to find a job in a restaurant bar because it was the summer and they knew that they will have a lot of customers speaking only English or only French coming from France. So that's why they accept they accept to have me to work from them, but I couldn't speak any word in Portuguese. And when it was late in the night, the manager just asked me to go on the bar with another barmaid and to lead some kind of entertainment. And when I'm looking back at that, I'm like, yeah, that was close to crazy sign, but I had to just go with the flow with the music and decide on what I was doing. But nothing was formal, and the manager was just asking me to do that because the clients were liking that and they were following the dance, and yeah.
It sounds like your manager watched the movie Coyote Ugly one too many times because sounds like what you're describing. Did you ever see this movie, Coyote Ugly?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's basically that. At one point, all the bar or waitress staff get up on the bar and they start dancing, and the customers go nuts. This is what it sounds like.
The first time was just it was just like we did that for fun, and then the clients like it, so the manager asked us to do it again. So it was pretty much me and one of the barmaid doing that almost every night.
Was it to Portuguese music or more like top 40?
They are mixing music. So in Portugal, you will have Spanish music, you will have popular music, because the bar I was working at is a mix with very local clients, and the 50 other percent will be people traveling. So from the US, from Canada, from Ireland, from UK, from Australia. So they had to move a little bit and be flexible with the music.
And did you learn like the vira? I don't know. There's a traditional dance from Portugal. I think it's called the vira. Did you learn any of this?
I've learned some dance, but I cannot remember if it was called Vera. Yeah.
Okay. Now, getting back to I mentioned in your intro that you have quite these, certifications. Okay. Were you doing this because you're originally from Quebec, right? So did you get all these certifications in Quebec or did you get them around the world?
And no, my first certification as a Zumba instructor, the first one, I did it in Quebec, but most of my other certification, I did it with school based in the US. And even my Aqua Zumba, I did it during a Zumba convention in Orlando. So most of my certification, I did it with some association in the US. And for the cycling certification, I had the chance to get it with Club Med in Mitches.
Hold the phone. There are Zumba conventions?
Yes. So every year, normally it's in July. You have a Zumba convention if you want to go. It's a 5 days. It's a lot of fun. You can choose all the session that you want to do. You can have certification. So I did Zumba Kids. I did Aqua Zumba. I did also street dance. I did something that was like more like Brazilian style. So you really choose what you want. There is courses on social media. And every night it's a dance party. So you're just moving from the morning till the night. And the last day will be a fitness concert. So when I was there, it was Rente de Zona that was there. But the year before it was Daddy Yankee. But it always a different band, a different singer that is coming, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Can you tell me how you first heard about Club Med? Were you online looking around? Did you see an ad or a billboard?
Yeah. So after doing some summer working in Portugal, I wanted to continue to work in different country, but I wanted to do the job that I like, which is teaching. So I find a job that was teaching vacation in Cayo Coco, Cuba, but it was just a week. And I was like, how can I do that longer, like 6 months, 1 year, or something like that? So I just went on Google and I literally tried to find job like fitness instructor in the Caribbean, and that's how I find about Club Med. But before, I knew the name Club Med, but I had no idea what it was really.
Okay. So yeah, you had never visited or went on vacation to a Club Med, right?
No,
All right. Now, how long after you sent in your resume did you get a call?
it was really fast. I was coming back from my my teaching vacation in Cuba. I got the call and they scheduled my interview for the following week. So that was pretty fast.
Since your first season was in 2018, you probably got your interview in 2018, correct?
Yes. So I got my interview between my teaching vacation in Cayo Coco and I was literally about to go to Florida for my Zumba convention. So I did the interview just in between.
Now, where was your interview? Was it in Montreal?
They did it on Skype.
On Skype? Oh,
Yes.
okay, really? So, were there a bunch of you in a Zoom room or Skype room at the time, or just you one on one?
Just me, because normally I know they do some group interview, but I send I send my resume in the summer and they do not have like the group interview in the summer, so they just did a one-on-one interview. I think it was with Bruce. I'm not sure I remember his name, but he was working in Montreal and he is from France.
Okay. Did they? So what did they do? Like on a Skype interview? Did they ask to see your certifications or anything?
I sent my certification by email, and during the interview, he asked me a bunch of questions of the place I've been traveling, what I'm doing, how long I've been teaching fitness classes. Then he asked me question in French, asked me question in English, so just to better know me. But it was really, I feel really comfortable during the interview, and I was not really stressful.
And about how long after the interview do you get told you're going to Cancun?
So it's really funny. At the end of the interview, he told me, I will see you soon in a village.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I think it went well. And he told me, you will get the answer within 1 week. And it's normally it's the office in Miami who needs to take the final decision. So that's why he told me it will take 1 week, and no matter what, he will get an answer. So the following week, I got the answer that Club Med wanted me to work for them. But the thing is, I wasn't available until September because I already have my flight ticket to go to Portugal and to work for another summer. So the thing is, I was literally coming back from Portugal. I was just landing in Quebec, and I got the call from Club Med, and they just told me like, yeah, you will go to Cancun, and we're just starting your visa process. So as soon as you get your visa, you will go to Cancun.
So what do you remember about arriving that first day or week? Do you have any Club Med culture shock, or were you like wide eyed and like what's going on, or were you just totally comfortable?
It was not my first time going to Cancun. So when I learned that I was going to Cancun, I was like, oh, okay, I've been there in vacation. So I already knew the place. And it was not really a culture shock because I don't know, Mexico is, for me, it's part of the American zone. And I traveled in other country that was more culture shock than Mexico. And it was more easy for me. I was like, oh, that's super easy because when I was working in Portugal, I had to find my job myself. I had to have my own insurance. I had to find an apartment. I had to pay my flight. I had to manage all my transfer. So with Cluman, everything was included. They just manage everything for you. So for me, it was just really simple. I just get there. I have my room. I have everything that is set up. So I kind of feel comfortable within the first week.
And who was your chief of village?
Abdel
Abdel. What's his last name? Do you know? The newer ones up.
Osmani.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's been a long time at chief of village, right? I believe.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Were you doing just the all the fitness? Did you have to do water aerobics too, or aqua zumba?
Aqua gym, aqua zumba. I only started to teach it in Minches and in Turks because in Cancun we had Cancun is the village that is a little bit bigger, so it was the land sports I was teaching the aqua gym.
Okay. And usually the land sport guy doesn't know what he's doing, like me, and he just turns it into a massage circle, right? Oh, anyway,
Because
that's
we had, I don't know if you know him, but we had Nelson, and well, he's really
no.
cute and he really enjoyed to teach the aqua gym, and the ladies really enjoyed watching him teaching the aqua gym.
Ah, okay. He was he
So he
was a
was
bit of the
very,
he was the guy candy, right? As they say.
yeah,
Okay. And let me guess, he did it out of the water, right? I'm guessing. In a
exactly,
very small speedo, right? Am I getting it?
exactly.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Yeah, that's why I did mine under the water. Okay. All right. So, well, what can you tell me? Anything interesting or unusual happen? You have any stories from Cancun?
I really had a great time in Cancun by working, and also on my day off. I found that I just had a lot of fun. My roommate was working at the water ski. So at midday, I was always going back to my room with the boat. So I had the chance to be on the water every day. That was just amazing. My new year of like the new year 2019, I was with the designer that is popular in Quebec. He's Jean Herdy. So I spent my new year with him, and it was a lot of fun. And I saw him at the television, and I was like, he looks a little bit cold, but in person is a totally different personality. Was super nice, and I really had like great time.
What was his name again?
Jean Herdy.
And you recognized him from TV?
Yes, he's a popular designer in Quebec.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Now, since you were in Cancun for a year and you had been there on vacation, what was your favorite nightclub in Cancun? Mine was Coco Bongo. Did you have a favorite?
Yes, my favorite is the city. It's just open on Friday, but it's always been my favorite. It's
Oh,
just
the
next to
city.
Coco Bongo.
Yeah, that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they still doing the Wednesday night at Daddy-O's or anything? Did they organize a trip to Daddy-O's every week for the GOs or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't heard about it, so I don't think they are doing it anymore.
Okay. Did you get any hurricanes your time in Cancun? Because when I was there and I left there in 2005 and a hurricane came and then it turned into a family village. So did you know it was going to be a family village when you arrived?
It was already a family village when I started working, but I knew it, yes. And I'm very lucky, knock on wood. But I no, I haven't had any hurricane in all the different country I've been living, only tropical storm.
Okay. And who's Yanis from Cancun? Who is that?
Yanis is amazing. Now he is chief of village, but at the time he was the assistant,
Okay.
and he's from Morocco, but he's been living in France as well, so he's like French and Moroccan. And Abdel Abdel was living in August because he needed to prepare the opening of Mitches, and the following chief of village was Youssef. So for like a month and a half, Yanis needed to do the interim, and it was a month that it was raining almost every day. And even with the rain, I think it was like one of my favorite months. And even for the guests, we
What?
just had so much fun. And it's
What?
hard to explain. Yes.
That's you know for most Joes from my day, that's the worst thing that could happen, right? The rainy day program for a week is you might as well just shoot me. Okay. You liked it?
Exactly. But it was so nice, and the guests were so happy that at the end of the month, he even received an email from Miami telling that like we
Oh,
bet like the number of the 5 previous year.
okay. Wait a
And
minute. Okay, hold it.
yeah,
Excuse me, Melissa. You said the guests were very happy. Where were the
yeah.
majority of these guests from that week? I'm guessing not France. Yeah, I'm kidding. I love the French. I'm guessing they North American?
In September, because
Like that
school
that
just restart, we get more people, yeah, from the US or from Canada.
I knew it.
And
Okay. Okay,
yes, and
that's
we
that's
get
why.
more like solo traveler.
Mhm. Okay. Now you mentioned Abdel did the opening, so I'm going to assume that Abdel asked you to go do to Michas, or you just wound up there, or you wanted to go there. What happened? How did you get from Cancun to there?
I was just starting to work for Club Med, and I'm very lucky because I've been working with Melanie Gregoire. I don't know if you know her, but she's been working in fitness for like 8 years or 9 years. I don't know. At the moment, she's always following Abdel, but she was at fitness with me, and as soon as I start working, she just explained me a lot of things about how Club Med work, what you can do, what you cannot do. So I feel really comfortable as soon as I started to work, and she really liked me. So she was always telling Abdel she needs to go to Mitchell, she needs to go to Mitchell because Melanie was always following Abdel. So I think it was just my first month working in Cancun, and they were already talking to me about, do you think you would like to do the opening of Mitchell's?
This is Melanie Gregoire.
Yes.
Does her family own the Gregoire restaurant? Is that her?
I don't
No.
know.
What did Melanie do in Cancun?
Fitness. So we were
There
working
was there
together at
was there
fitness.
was wait a minute. There was two of you.
In Cancun, yes, because we
Wow.
have a lot of different classes. We have classes at the same time.
Oh wow. Okay. No, that's a good idea. But but back in the day, it was just one of you, right? Like there's one tennis instructor, one fitness, and if you got sick, well, you couldn't get sick, right? So, well, that's good. All right.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
what helped as well is that Abdel's wife, she was working at fitness before. I took her position because she decided to change to work for the sales department. So I took the position of his wife. So when your wife is at the fitness and you see how demanding it is, maybe it's
Oh
it's
yeah.
more yeah, we're going to have two fitness instructor.
Oh yeah. No, it's a tough job, right? I mean, she probably did the right thing because your knees can only take so much every day, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so Melanie Gregoire helped you go to the new village. So what's it like opening a brand new resort? Was it closed when you got there? Like there were no GMs around, I'm assuming?
Exactly. I got there before the opening, and it's really funny because Miches is an hour and a half from Punta Cana,
Ugh.
and there is literally nothing close to Miches. But it's funny because I was talking recently to someone living in Miches, and he told me that now apparently there is two other hotel next to Club Med, but it was not the case when I got there. So from the airport, I was alone in my transfer because I got there like 1 week after the other geos. And at one point, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. The road was not done. So the construction for the road to go to Clement was not done. So I was like, maybe I got in the wrong transfer. And it's surely difficult to open a village, but it was a good experience. The Miches, the clubman, is 30 minutes away from the closest village. So before the opening, I was walking on the beach and I was like, wow, it feels like you're in the movie, you're alone in the island, and it was just unbelievable. And at the sunset, we saw like two dolphins jumping out of the water. It was just so natural and feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
The only thing missing from this picture is a guy with long hair named Fabio, right? Or did they have someone like that there? I'm guessing anyway. So when you're doing this hour and a half ride, it's just you and a lot of cows on the road, right? I'm guessing.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
About how long were you there until it opened?
Maybe a little bit less than a month because my departure Club Med Cancun was a little bit later than supposed to, and then I had vacation in between. So I got there maybe 3 weeks before the opening, and we had to. What is nice with an opening is that you're going to have to learn new shows. You're going to, in the gym, we were preparing a new schedule for the fitness so we could decide what classes are we going to teach. I was sitting with Melanie and we were deciding of the type of classes. We were also deciding of what is the equipment that we would like to order, like what is missing. So I could choose on that. We could choose the schedule. And again, it was all new choreo and I love to do the show. I know it's not the case of everyone, but what was more funny is that before the opening, the Wi-Fi, you could only have Wi-Fi at a little spot, and it was in the stair next to the Geo building. So if you wanted to have Wi-Fi, you needed to go there. And we were losing the power really often. So sometimes we did rehearsal in the dark, and yeah, that was totally different experience.
Okay, I have a question for you because you did fitness, and I was a chief of sport in Club Med, so I always used to chuckle that people, guests that would show up to do an activity and they were not dressed at all. Like my favorite is when my tennis instructor would get really mad when a guest would show up in just a speedo to play advanced tennis. So did it ever happen that a guest shows up in just a bathing suit, no running shoes to do Zumba? And if so, how do you politely tell them if they have if or ask them if they have running shoes anywhere for the class? Does that ever happen to you?
Of course, and sometimes we were accepting it, if I can say, when we were doing the Mega Zumba, because the Mega Zumba, it was really close to the beach, and we were trying to have as much people as possible, but I had to adapt my movement because I knew that people were in bathing suit and no shoes. But
Okay. Topless. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's
Okay. So,
more for, I think I was more feeling uncomfortable when they were coming in bathing suit for my stretching classes.
oh yeah, of course. Okay.
And
Well,
it happened
yeah.
a couple times.
Yeah. There's always a guy in a Speedo that ruins everything. Okay. Sorry about that. You stay there from November 2019 to March 2020, correct?
Exactly.
So, did you have were there any like opening day jitters, or did a shipment not arrive that was supposed to arrive? Because usually when you open a village, things go wrong. That's normal. Did anything like that happen?
Ooh, yes, yes. From maybe the biggest one is that we had no AC in the gym for the opening, and also we had no water. Like the normally we always put water for the gas, and we did not have this machine, and we did not have AC in the gym, and they and I'm laughing every time I'm thinking about that. But I was teaching like abs and glutes classes, and the Dominican just decided that it was the right time to come to and to do the installation of the AC. Yeah.
Oh, right during your class.
Yes, and they asking me to push my yoga mat, and I was like, "Can you see that I'm teaching a classes right now?"
Okay, let me guess. These repairmen were guys.
Yeah, but
What a
people need to
shock.
know that in Miches, it's not like Punta Cana. The worker the week before they were like fishermen, or they were just like working in a little village. The village of Miches is really like a fisherman village, and I've been there before the opening. Like I hang out and I just went to a restaurant and a bar, and I was literally the first blonde that they were seeing in their life, so they were all staring at me like, what?
You
So
mean more?
yeah.
You mean more than usual, right? Okay.
That's what I mean,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Wow. All right. Now, what kind of shows do you put on? Is every show a big show, or do you have like a 2 week rotation of shows nowadays in Club Med?
It was it was different in Cancun, it was different in Mitches, and it was different in Turks and Caicos. So in Cancun, it was the same show for example, every Monday was the same show, and I had the chance to work with Anne Judy, which is one of the best choreographer for Club Med. And when I was in Cancun, she created the show Carousel, and she created a bunch of show. So we changed it, some show and some dance during the time that I was there. So I was keep on learning, and it was not always the same thing. But normally, yes, Monday was the same the same show. In Mitches, it was different because we had professional dancer for maybe 3 weeks during 3 weeks, 3 days during the week, and they were just introducing 2 geo per show with the professional dancer, and I was one of the lucky ones to be part of a show with a professional dancer. But it was a lot of stress, but it was a lot of fun as well.
What was her name? Angeli, you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because it was a new village, were there a lot of like Club Med head office people or the top brass coming by or the president at the time? Did any of that happen? Like the VIPs, I mean?
Yes, we did the opening in November, but then I think it was in February that we did the official opening with Henri Giscard, and then we have Michel, that I forgot his last name, but he was super nice. He came to my fitness classes, and at the same time we had chief of village from pretty much every other village that just came to the opening. So I had the chance to meet a lot of different chief of village. They had like influencer, journalists, and a bunch of people for 1 week.
Okay. That sounds nice.
It was.
All right. Now, after this village, you go to Turks and Caicos in October 2020, correct?
Yes, it was
The Rio,
postponed like three times
yeah,
before because of COVID, but yes.
the reopening, because yes, so March 2020 was the pandemic. So you went to do the reopening. Were you apprehensive about that at all, or you just wanted to go to Club Med?
I enjoyed my time in Canada. I know most people did not like the COVID time, but I haven't seen my family for a long time, so I was just enjoying time with my family, going to hike. But yes, I was hoping to be able to get back to Club Med as soon as possible, and I was really happy to have the opportunity to go to Turks and Caicos because it was my first time in Turks and Caicos, and I wanted to go to another country. So I was supposed to go there in July, and then they changed for September, and then they changed for October, and then November.
You didn't have to do your classes in a mask, right?
If it was if it was outside, that's why I was trying to teach my classes in the theater. If it was outside, I could remove it when I was doing the exercise, but I needed to put it back when I was talking to people, and they changed the rules so many times. So sometimes we needed to wear it, sometimes it was fine, depending on the distance with other people. But when it was outside, for example, for the morning walk and for the classes in theater, normally we could remove it.
Okay. But what's it like wearing a mask in the heat? Probably not fun, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
And for the timeline is not super nice as well.
And for the oh yeah, the tan line. That's true. I didn't think about that. Okay. All right. And so you had two chief of villages there, Jose Luis and Francis Lacoste. Is that right?
Exactly, because of all the rules, and we were one of the first village to reopen in the American zone. So they wanted to be sure that everything will go properly because Cancun reopened it just before and they struggled a little bit. So they were like, okay, for Turks and Caicos, we're going to have two chief at the same time just for the opening. So Francis stayed the whole time that I was there, and Jose Luis was just there at the beginning, but both are really amazing chief of village.
And who is your chief of sports in Turks?
In Turks, it was Alex, and it was Alex also in Mitches.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, please say that Jojo the dolphin didn't have to wear a mask.
No.
Did you happen to see him at all?
Yes.
Okay. Were you swimming or you just saw him from the shore?
I saw him at the dock, but other time when I was on the boat or I was swimming, I saw other dolphin, but it was not the Jojo.
Okay. So what's it like going from family village, singles village?
Oh, it's so much different. A lot more flexibility. And I think the big change is, at fitness, sometimes you have parents that want to do the classes with the kids, or you have kids that just want to go in the gym to play with the equipment, and you have to deal with that. So of course in Turks you do not have that. But the only maybe downside is the people have less energy for your classes in Turks than in the family village.
Oh, really? Okay.
A little bit more party, so yeah.
Okay. But the nights were pretty. I mean, I think the nights like is there something called the glow party? Because I've heard is that what Club Med does now? Is there one night of the week where I don't know they make all these multicolored drinks at the bar, or and people have glow sticks? Or am I wrong? I don't know what a glow party is. What's a glow party?
Yes, and the three villages that I did, we had a glow party, and I was the go-go dancer normally for a glow party, and yes, we had like glow stick, we had like clothes that was glowing in the dark, and shots and different shots with the color, and yeah, that's pretty much what you said.
Okay, and this is where you met TJ Walker here, right? So he would have been the DJ there, right?
Yes, it's so amazing. It was also doing the live music for my aqua gym, and I always like it when it was him because I don't know, he was putting music that was fitting with my movement, but it was live music, so I don't know, our connection was just pretty good.
See, this is hard for me to fathom like that you had live, someone spinning for your water aerobics. Because back in the day, we usually grabbed a boombox that hardly ever worked, and then we'd have to do it without music. So this is pretty incredible that this is how it's being done nowadays.
Yeah, it was not every day, but live aqua gym was maybe 3 times during the week, and that was always my favorite aqua gym.
You liked aqua gym?
Yes, I know. At the beginning, I wasn't sure if I liked it because it's the part of the day that the sun is super, it's super warm and it's demanding when you are outside the water. And then I was also jumping in the water, but I don't know, I had fun. And in Turks, we have some dumbbell that can go in the water, and I had a lot of fun of using this maybe twice per week. And yeah, for me, it was fun.
Wait a minute, dumbbells that go in the water? Oh boy, this is true?
Yes, but it's dumbbell, it's formed, so they go in the water and it's going to make more resistance, so you're working harder. And we use that for the aqua gym because I've been teaching aqua gym in a formal gym in Quebec as well, and we normally have those kind of equipment for the classes. And I find it in Turks, nobody was using it, and I was like, I want to use that, so I just decided to use it, and people like it.
Were you teaching seniors water aerobics in Quebec?
If I was teaching what?
Old people?
In Quebec, it's a mix of different kind of people. I was working for a ward gym. I've been teaching the aqua zumba and I've been teaching aqua gym. And the people, it's different. You have people that have injuries, so it's better for them to exercise in the water. You have older people. You can have pregnant women. You can have people who have like a chronic inflammation. So in the water, they can work out without getting pain. So it's a bunch of different type of people.
Hey, Melissa, since you have a dance background, did it ever happen that, I don't know, the choreographer had a day off or she was sick, that you ever had to replace the choreographer at Clement?
Yes, in Turks and Caicos, I was really close to the choreographer. It was one of my really good friends, Zaria, and she asked me to help her to create some choreo because during COVID we had to change things a little bit. So we needed to create dance happening really often. So I was helping her, and then when she got sick, I replaced her to lead the rehearsal. So I had to teach people and make sure that everyone was ready for the happening.
Would you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a choreographer? Like if you didn't have to do fitness, would you like to be a choreographer?
I really like dance and I really like to perform on the stage. I did dance before, but I wasn't doing dance competition. But I've been doing high level of cheerleading. And in cheerleading, of course, we have gymnastic, we have like we lift people in the air, and we have a dance part. So I don't know if I could be a choreographer. I mean, I'm teaching Zumba and I love it, but choreographer, I never really thought about that, but I really like it to help Saria and to replace her. I feel that I was comfortable doing that. And I also had to do the placement because she's been missing for maybe 2 weeks. So I had to do the placement for the show and to do all that. And it went super fine. And the Geo told me that the placement, everything was super clear. So I think I did a kind of good job, and maybe I could do that. I don't know.
Well, don't forget, being a choreographer sounds like fun, but then you have to deal with idiots that like me who don't like rehearsal. So, okay.
Exactly, that's the
Or
thing. And you also have to deal with the Geo not showing up for the rehearsal.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, you mentioned cheerleading. If I recall, in high school, your squad won first place at the cheerleading national championships in Canada, right?
Exactly. So I won the gold medal one time, and I also had the silver medal also during high school. So yes, I did the national championship.
So was it like the show that on Netflix I love called Cheer? Is it like that?
It's similar to that, yes, and it's in the during the national, you need to perform 2 days in a row. And the thing, I have a funny story about that. The year that we won the second place, it's actually because of a mistake of our coach. She wasn't good speaking English. So when she wrote, she read like all all the rules for the competition. She did not understand really good, so we did something that was illegal, and we lost a lot of points on the first day. And the next day we changed what we needed to change, and then we still rank up to the silver medal. And I also won like the gold medal in 2000. I think it was in 2009. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. If we can take a minute just to step away from Club Med and we'll go back to Club Med. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So I'm on your website now. You are a holistic fitness coach and you're currently living in Cancun, right? So what are you doing now?
I work online. I'm basically doing a little bit of everything that I did in the past year, but all together. So holistic health, holistic medicine is I'm helping a lot of different condition and a lot of different type of people to get in better shape and better health. So my goal is not just for people to lose weight, it's for people to be happy, to be feeling good mentally and physically. So, for example, I'm working with people who have insulin resistance. I'm working with women who have difficulty conceiving a child. I'm working with women who have PCOS, endometriosis, people who have a different hormonal imbalance, sleep, trouble sleeping, bad recovery. I'm working in nutrition and all those stuff like increasing better energy, better metabolism. I also do the workout program and all those stuff. So I have a mobile app and I can do everything with my mobile app.
And you also do it in three languages, English, French, and Spanish, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I like how because you look like you're a trainer. So if you've noticed, like I've been around gyms my whole life, so there are trainers that don't look like trainers and trainers that do. So I like how you use this picture. I'm going to put the link, everyone, on in the show notes so you can see your website because so your advertisement is you because you look like a trainer. So you're someone that I would take advice from, right? Do you get what I mean? Like I'm sure you've seen some
Yes.
trainers that don't look like they train, right?
Exactly, but even myself, I probably had all the different way and shape that are possible, so I know how it can be a struggle. So that's why I think I can be a good coach. I understand all those struggles and that you can be sometimes you can have even a too low wag and sometimes you're overweight. Yeah, so
Okay, yeah. And for online coaching, it's fitness, holistic coaching, and also live workouts, correct?
exactly.
Okay. Wow, excellent. So yeah, so I'll put the link in there and yeah, please check her out. Now, if we could go back to Club Med, did you have a favorite crazy sign when you were there? Like I don't know what the new ones are nowadays. Or are they still playing the golden oldies, the classics?
Yeah, they are still playing the classic. I don't know why, but I really like it. The Azukita, that was one of the newest, probably because I was already doing that song in Zumba, but in Zumba it was a different choreo. And then the Crazy Sign, that is, I got it from my daddy. Yeah, I love it, that one as well. And
Well,
I think that was
yeah,
my
that
favorite one.
that's strange, because you learn this dance in Zumba and then you have to relearn it in Club Med. That I've never heard that before. Yeah, you have to tell
And
your body, no, I turn this way, not that way.
but it's not just happening with Azukita. I've been um I've been teaching Zumba classes since 2014. So there is other song that was used for Crazy Sign that I already had another choreo on it. So I had to, but you get used to it. I'm teaching Zumba, and sometimes I have to prepare a whole classes of 1 hour in just 1 day or 2 days. So my brain is getting it.
Now, who did you, Melissa, like working with in all your seasons? Like, is there anyone that you enjoyed working with, spending time with?
Yes, in Cancun, Roxanne, that was my roommate. We are still friends, and I always go to see her when I'm coming to Quebec. Then I had Catherine, that was working at the guest relation. Melanie, that I've been talking about her because I really love her, and I'm really excited because technically I should be able to see her soon coming back
Oh,
to Cancun.
Melanie Gregoire from Restaurant Gregoire. Okay.
Yes.
Please tell her I like her restaurant. Okay. Okay.
And Nelson, the guy from the aqua gym, he is now living in Cancun like I do, and he is also an online coach. So we do pretty much the same thing. So sometimes we see each other. We are almost we're living like 5 minutes walking from each other. So I'm still seeing Nelson, and he was with me in Miches and in Cancun. Then there is I mentioned it, but in Turks, Zahia was really one of my favorite Geo. She was the choreographer. Then I had Cynthia that I worked with in Miches and in Cancun. She was at the snorkeling, and I'm not the only one who remember her. Like all the Geo and the GM, they're always talking to me about Cynthia. Do you remember Cynthia? And she was just really lovely. She's Mexican, and yeah, that was one of my favorite geos. And I'm surely forgetting some people because there is so many great person I've had the chance to meet in Miches. And I said it before, but Yanis was also one of my favorite manager, and just the person that he is amazing.
Okay. And you also met Marc Labrèche, no? He's a French Canadian comedian. What village did you meet him at?
In Miches, he was in vacation in Miches, and he was training in the gym like a normal person. He's one of the celebrity that I can tell that he is exactly the same person when you see him in the television and when you see him in person for real.
Okay. Now, I'm just curious because I've met a few celebrities myself, but when I met Stéphane Rousseau from Quebec, I didn't know who he was, but all the French Canadian geos did. And they're like, you don't know who Stefano? No, he's just a nice guy. I met him in St. Lucia before. You met him in St. Lucia, but I think he liked knowing that I didn't know who he was, because everyone else, the French Canadian GOs, were like, do Madame Jigger, please do Madame Jigger. So did it happen that other people didn't know that he was famous, like only the French Canadians knew?
Yes, of course. And in the opposite, we had we had like a celebrity from Italy, and I had no idea that it was a celebrity.
Okay, yeah, that happens, right? When you don't know them, then to you they're not famous, right?
Yes.
Okay. Considering you and Nelson live in Cancun, this is not fair. This is not fair that XGOs get to live in Cancun, because I love Cancun. I spent a year there and I would like to live there. But so is it possible, since you're kind of living in paradise, is it possible that you don't miss anything about Club Med? Or if you do miss something about Club Med, what do you miss?
Yeah, so by living in Cancun, I still enjoy a part of the lifestyle that could be like Club Med. But I'm working online, so I'm in front of my laptop pretty much all day. So yeah, there is things that I miss about Club Med. I think Club Med is like a big family. You are just around people that are happy, nice people, friendly people. I was teaching my classes outside, which is nice. For example, in Cancun, you're in the shade, so you're outside, but you're in the shade. So there is thing that I'm missing, like also the show is something that I was enjoying a lot and that I'm missing. I think that's why last year I took a little contract in Cancun as a cheerleader for Cancun football teams, because I wanted to kind of find something similar to the dance show, even if it was different. But yeah, and maybe the food, not having to cook.
Yes, or do dishes, right?
Yes.
Wait a minute, Cancun has a football team?
Only last year.
Oh, okay, okay. They won the
It's a
championship, then
professional league.
left, right?
Yeah, but there is professional sport. You have football, which is soccer. You have a baseball professional team, and last year it was the first year that we were having an American football team in Cancun, and half of the team was a player from the US. And the league was already running since a couple years, but it was really the first year that Cancun could host a team. But yeah, they didn't have enough money to to be able to continue their operation. So
Okay. You had told me something. Well, you gave me some notes before your interview. I forgot to ask you this when you were at Meech's, but is it true that there was a a shuttle between the Club Med Punta Cana and your village? And if you wanted to go there on your day off, you could. Is that true?
Yes, I don't know if it's still like that, but we had a shuttle. So most of my day off, I spent it going to Club Med Punta Cana or to visit other part of Dominican Republic. But they did that because we were so alone. There were just nothing close to Club Med Miches, so they give us the opportunity to go to Club Med Punta Cana. And the good thing is, after your day pass at Club Med Punta Cana, we were also making a stop at the shopping center. I forgot the name of this shopping center, but we could stop there if you needed to buy things. We had like 30 minutes and then we were heading back to Miches. So I had the chance to meet other GOs in Punta Cana and to kind of feel in vacation.
But are you saying on your day off you spent roughly 3 hours on a bus though?
It was depending on who was driving.
Oh, got it. Okay, so if you had old lead foot there, it would only be 45 minutes, right? Round trip. Okay. Okay. But it was it at least an hour and a half to get there or no?
Between I think 50 minutes and an hour and a half, depending on how it was going on the road.
Oh wow, I think I would have stayed put. Okay, okay. I hate long bus rides or anything like that. But wow, but that's good that they offered that. I mean that's a nice touch, I think.
Yes.
Okay, Melissa, we're nearing the end of the interview. I just wanted to ask if you thought that any of the three resorts you worked at were magical in a way. I'm wondering if it's Cancun because I know when you went to Cancun for a family vacation, as they do in some resorts and Club Med also, they choose people from the audience to be part of the show and they throw you on without any rehearsal. So this happened to you, correct, when you went on vacation?
Yes, exactly. I did the Grease show and I had no idea I would do that. They just picked me up and 1 hour later I was in the show.
Yeah, so little did you know that you were like 17. So little did you know in the future that you would actually be doing that, right?
Yeah, I had no idea at that time. Yeah.
So was Cancun because it was your first season? Was that your magical season? Or do you just like them all for different reasons?
I think yes, and it's also a special place for me. That's why I'm living here and now I have the residency. And I think Cancun is there is so many things to do, even when you're off, when you're working, and the club is big. There's a lot of activity at Club Med Cancun as well. So probably it's probably my magic season. But I have to say that I really like Turks. The beach was just wonderful, the water, and it's adult only, so it was really different. So they all have their special things, but I can say that Cancun would probably rank number one.
Okay, excellent. So, did I forget to ask you anything? Is there anything you wanted to say? I mean, I guess I'm assuming you have no regrets and you wouldn't have changed anything the way you did it, right?
I think it was pretty much everything about Club Med. No, I do not have regrets. I went back to Club Med Cancun just for a night pass and I had a lot of fun and I just been able to see again some people I've been working with in Niches and in Turks that they are now in Club Med Cancun. So it's I mean Club Med is always a family and yeah, I really appreciate my time and I learned so much by working for Club Med.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and sharing your story. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to share my experience.
And don't forget, listeners, to check her out. I'm going to be putting the link to her website. So if you're like me and you need to get in shape, okay, please consult her website. Put that in the show notes for you. And here is where we say goodbye to our listeners and all your friends listening, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.